Hello, my name is Ethan and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Harvest League 3.11. In this episode, I have put together that OP garden design that people may have noticed or found in my garden. So first I'm just going to walk through my garden and showcase everything that we had laid down. I will mention we're only missing about 2 collectors out of the entire thing. So this is where I'm missing the collector, and I'm missing one more over here. Not a big deal. It's 2 wild collectors, and then we have everything, so it's 50 life force. I'll get it in one harvest. But yeah, the farm is gigantic. This is the max, like 99.5% maximum efficiency of the farm. It's literally almost every single space taken up that you could possibly use. You can't create something better than this, so this is it. GG, there you go. Now this is what I actually want to show, because it's kind of complicated, and I think that I want to explain it. So I'm going to leave a link to... This is how I'm going to start it off. How you guys doing? Welcome back. So it got really complicated really quickly. So if you don't understand what's going on, I recommend watching my previous video, which is how to grow tier 2s and 3s, which is just the basics to get into it. If you haven't already played with this for a little while, I don't recommend looking at this video basically, and I would recommend this for after you've played with the league mechanic for a little while and you want to get more, the most, the best. This is it, okay? So I'll leave a link to this in the description below, and now I'm going to explain it really quickly. So one thing that you will notice when trying to set this up, because what I did is I did one color at a time. So after having all these all this equipment, 10 of each collector, 52 of each storage, 10 dispersers of each, 29 of each pylon, having all these resources, like I told you would need a shit ton of storage. I was right. I only have a tiny little bit extra now, so I actually bought the right amount of storage. It's insane. Okay, so for one thing I want to mention is when you're trying to place these down, I was doing one color at a time to keep it simpler, like just place an S, place a 3, and these are like based on per square, like per tile of the actual garden. So it's really nice and easy to follow when you just do one piece at a time. Looking at the whole thing, it's a mess, but if you have all of the equipment and you just start placing it down one piece at a time, it's not that bad. Now I want to explain some weird parts. So when you're placing them down, you're going to notice that you're going to have problems with pylons. And so what I found is this whole entire farm is based on, with one pylon, you equip it to a storage tank, and the collector, for example, right? My method before was connecting pylons to pylons. And so what is shown in this is that you can connect the pylon to a tank, and then, so you see how it's this one, these 4? Okay, watch this. When I click this pylon, I have selected this tank, which was the shared one of the other pylon, and it turns out that okay, so when you touch a pylon to a pylon, both of the pylons lose one connection for that one connection to connect them, right? But if you connect them through another item, so if you do a pylon to a tank and then to another pylon, it's the same exact amount of connections. You've lost one connection on each pylon, but you gained a tank in between if it carries the connection, which, based on this farm, you'd have to assume it does, because that's how the whole entire farm is built, and I haven't even tested. I'm just assuming this is going to work, and it's beautiful. So basically that you would connect your pylon. So just to show it, a lot of the sections of this farm is like pylon and then 3 storage tanks around it, and then like an extra one, right? So normally I would connect. So let's say okay, the extra one would be part of the normal farm, okay? So let's say I'd connect to the one that's already part of the farm to get the yellow onto the pylon. Did you see how it changed colors? I'll do it again. It's a blank one, doesn't have connection. We add it to the chain that we are. This was a 0 of 300 tank, so it shouldn't have color unless it's part of the network. So we've attached it to the network, and now we can add the network to these 3 tanks, and all of them also turn yellow. This is what I found. I was like, oh, I would have never came up with this farm unless I figured that out. Oh my god, this is a really OP farm. So now to get into it, he set up 7 farms. This was on Reddit. This was the Reddit name. I don't know. I've actually got linked this, and I don't know what the Reddit post is or who made it. But basically, 7 of the Vivid. He fit 8 Primal. He fit 7 Wild. Like, this is disgusting. And you like, for example, down here, 3 storages and then a pylon, and the pylon's just to connect to the main network. So like, you connect it, let's say here, and now just because you connect this one farm to the rest of the network, all of this storage gets carried along. This is insane. I highly recommend this farm, and he's even gone farther to show you, okay, so in this top right, this is where the complex part comes from the video, because the rest of it's just tier 1 storage and pylon, like making use of the rest of the space in your thing. This is the crazy shit. So he put the most complex design in the top right, but it also can fit, here you may see that it would match with higher tier seed and 3 7.5 tier seeds. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. If you notice, this one is actually this layout in the bottom section, and then it's on the top, but kind of like, wait, is that the exact same again? Yeah, it's 2 rows of the same thing with the dispersers changed and stuff, and the placement of the middle row to fix it. Like, he added rows in between here to make it all work when you double stack them. So it's like a super efficient. And then if you wanted to not do 3s and 4s, like maybe you don't have 4s and you don't have all 3s, and you still need to do 2s, it shows you good 2 designs as well. This is insane. This is what I exactly needed, and it makes you rethink things, because it's like, oh shit, you don't need 1s in these designs because the 3s complete the 3s and the 4s get completed by the other 4s and the 3s around it, and it's like that adjacent thing is really weird. Wow, this is so powerful. And I just wanted to throw this out here for anyone, because I know that there's going to be a lot of people looking for the best design, and they'll mess around with a bunch of shit, and here it is. Just this is what has been recommended to me. I agree. I've made the farm in my actual game now. I think it's a really good farm. We'll get to play around with it. I need 2 collectors for this area. But honestly, the storage is the biggest you can possibly get. It's the most complex. It has everything. It has all the hookups, you know. We could farm blues up here, yellows in the middle, purple down here, or wild down here, pink, however you want to call it. Oh my god, this farm. So, yep, link in the description. You can copy it as well. Have all the equipment necessary to do it. And yeah, for me, I have an extra 9 tanks, 94 pylons. Oops. 20 dispersers, not a big deal, and I have an extra blue tank that I can actually put down, that because these stack and this doesn't, so I should probably swap it. So let me, okay, let's pick this one up, reconnect it, and there we go, fixed. And yeah, I still need to get 2 more collectors, so I'm going to be farming, obviously. We can put all our extra stuff away. I also noticed something else. I think that the horror crafting station, that you can only have 3 recipes stored up. So let me explain. Right here, we have my horror crafting station, and so you have to attach the horror crafting station somewhere in your network to the thing, and just as a small thing, I think you should have 3. So the first thing that I want to point out is this should be wild farms. I'm missing them, like I said, but right here is 4 spaces, I think. So what I can do is actually take a pylon from blue and have it here next to this yellow pylon, and So this blue I'll get from here. This is a primal farm. I'll get a blue, and then I can put down this Hora crafting station. And now I technically, if I have a 2x2 right here. If I had 2 more Hora crafting stations, I could hook them up to the different colors. I have all 3 colors available here, which is probably why his farm. So like I said, I copied this. So this had a pylon here instead of a tank, and I couldn't understand why. Now I get it. So it's because he wants to be able to attach the Hora crafting station. So I'm assuming that because, okay, so when you delete the Hora crafting station and put it in the storage, unlike the tanks that have unique IDs because they have different amounts of liquid, this one seems to have just these 3 recipes and you can't get more, and this is just it, and every Hora crafting station will share the same recipes. That's not like individually storing. So there's only 3, that's the cap. Unlucky dude, but in this design I think that's where you're supposed to put it, and now I'll show it on the actual design. Right here is the spot I'm talking about. So he has pink pylon, blue pylon, and yellow pylon with all these extra it has extra connections available, and this is a perfect spot to put the Hora crafting. This is definitely the most, like, this is the best layout you can possibly do. There's nothing better, there's no arguing it, and that's why I had to put this video out. It's fucking disgusting. So it's just like, best design for the garden. Yeah, best layout for the garden, best, most optimal, most efficient design possible. Like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. Well, either way, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have fun spending an hour putting this together. It'll take you longer to get all the life force to actually buy all these too, because think about it, every single storage costs 75, each disperser costs 30, each pylon costs 10, and each collector costs 25. This is going to be a lot of life force you need. I only need 3 more collectors. PogChamp, and we already have tons of saved up life force. And last and final, I actually have some T4s. I have a T4, and I have some T3s, and I have tons of T2s, so I can start farming now. I'm pretty happy that I can actually make use of these big fields. It's gonna be beautiful, dude. I'm so excited. Oh my god, beautiful. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the support. I can't do this without you guys. I'm going to take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and the YouTube members who financially support the channel. Thank you guys for all the support. I can't do this without you guys. And thank you to anyone new who joins the Patreon or the YouTube members today. And I'll see you guys in the next episode or stream. Bye!